What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about online harassment in Warcraft, in the gaming community, I guess, and in the internet in general. This is going to be more of a real talk video, so it might be a little bit longer. I don't really know how long it's going to be, obviously, but just to let you guys know. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this video is because my boy Zach was like 5 in the morning a couple days ago, and he's like, okay, get in a raid call with me and some of my buddies, and one of his friends wanted to talk to me and like get some tips and everything like that because he wanted to start streaming and like doing the YouTube thing. And so he kind of wanted to get like my opinion on, just a bunch of different stuff. And one of the things that he asked me about and we talked about a lot is negative comments and like kind of criticism and like just stupid comments on his videos. And I told him, I was like, yo, listen, like if you can't deal with negative comments, you might not want to even be making any videos because you're going to get bad comments no matter what you do. And I think that that's something that's really important for you guys to know is that if you're somebody, somebody else is going to hate you, okay? And even if you're nobody, somebody's going to hate you. And one thing that I've been seeing a lot on, I guess, like the WoW general forums and also a lot of forums in gaming in general, is that somebody has some sort of a bad experience on like an online game with another player or something like that. And they kind of, I guess, like extrapolate this one experience to be indicative of the entire community or something like that. So example of this is that somebody has like two of their Blackrock Foundry runs ninja looted, like somebody steals all the gear, and they say that, okay, WoW is full of ninjas now, there's no point in playing the game, right? Not really, it's just you kind of had a bad experience. And personally, WoW has never been, like, there's never been more ninjas in WoW since Wrath of the Lich King. Like, that was the worst. Like, just trust me, guys, just, we're through the worst of it, okay? And anyway, I just want to let you guys know that because one experience that someone has doesn't necessarily mean that the entire community is shitty or anything like that. And I see this a lot, and it really kind of bothers me because I don't really think that's true at all. And there's a lot of people, honestly, guys, the 95% of people are pretty much just keep themselves. And I'd say out of that last 5%, 4 out of 5 of them are nice guys, and 1 out of 5, they're probably dicks, right? And maybe even half out of that 5 are just not nice, and the other half of that 1% is dicks. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make here is that you're always going to have to deal with assholes, and there's nothing that you're really going to be able to do to prevent that. I mean, you can try and bury your head in the sand and, think that nobody's going to, I don't know, say anything mean to you, but the fact is it's going to happen in one way or another. And that's why I wanted to tell you guys some of the different ways that I guess I have dealt with and how I prevent internet harassment on myself and everything else like that. Now, one thing that I do kind of want to get out of the way before I really go into the different examples is that there's never going to be a way to prevent harassment. There's never going to be a way to make all of the harassment go away, unless like Jesus comes down and just stops everything. But I'm not really holding my breath for that one. And so, guys, just be ready for it because it's probably going to happen to you. And the first thing we're going to talk about is, I guess, how to prevent it. And I think the main example that I'm going to give you guys is that there's somebody I know and she has like an eating disorder, and people are aware of that, and so they call her like fat or something like that because her eating disorder has to do with, I guess, like a body dysmorphic image thing where she thinks that she's overweight whenever she isn't and stuff like that. And so what happens is that people prey on her and they do that and they make her feel bad and it upsets her, and like, I guess I don't really like to use this word, but it triggers her. And it really kind of sucks that people do that, but I think that the best way to avoid that is to make sure that if there's something that you don't really want people to know about you, like for example, I'm trying to think of like something bad about me that I didn't really want people to figure out, but they found out, and I can't really think of anything right off the bat. I have no idea. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe something stupid. But anyway, maybe if I can think of something, I will. The point here really is that don't put out information that people can use against you. And I know that there's always going to be a way for people to find information about you and stuff like that, but at least make it as hard as possible. And so if you have something that like really kind of bothers you, like you've had some sort of like traumatic experience, and people talking about that upsets you, and you're in a place to where I guess like you have enemies, or at least people don't like you for whatever reason, it's best to keep that to yourself so they don't even have the ammo to use against you. And I know that's kind of it really kind of sucks to have to tell people that, but I know that everybody likes to have like this idealistic view on the world where, okay, well everything would just be everything would be good if nobody harassed each other. Listen, guys, people were still killing each other. I read a story the other day. Some guy ate his own arm. He ate his own arm, right? I mean, don't you know not to do that? Okay, if people are going to eat their own arms, like what's the odds that somebody's going to be mean to you on the internet? It's on the Ten Commandments. People thought that God said not to kill each other, and they're still doing it. Think about that. Like God can tell them not to do it, and they're still going to do it. And if you think that somehow this is going to go away, you're delusional. Okay, it sucks, but it's reality. Okay. Another thing, I got to tell you this right now. Do not ever mention people's names in their video. Do not ever say that, oh, haters don't phase me. Haters only make me famous. Like, and the reason I'm doing the gang signs is because, of course, most of the people who act like that kind of are in like that like whole like swag, I guess, world. And I really think that it's important never publicly acknowledge them, because like if you acknowledge them, like that's like their biggest validation. Because I mean, you think about it, it's like if I make a comment and I say, hey, you're really stupid and you're fat, okay? And then if the next video that this person comes out and they say I'm not fat and they're getting mad about it, like, oh my god, it's funny because you know that they're mad, right? And like if you're an asshole, right? And if you're one of the people that makes those kinds of comments, that's going to make you really happy whenever that happens. And I want to let you guys know, do not acknowledge that. And if you do, you're only asking for more of it. And it's like, I think that it's roosters, or it's like some sort of bird, right? And if one of the birds gets a cut on them, the other birds will peck the cut until the first bird dies. And so it's like a pecking frenzy, and they kill their own species as soon as there's like one drop of blood. I guess it's like a survival of the fittest thing. And you don't want to get pecked to death, do you? And so make sure that you don't even bleed, and just don't respond to it at all. Another thing, guys, I mean, like, you can report people. I know, like, I'm going to give you guys an example, okay? So on Warcraft, right, beginning of Mists of Pandaria about 2-3 years ago, this one mage, and I just hated this kid. I don't even remember why, and it probably wasn't even a kid. I know that that's kind of a derogatory term now. It's this guy. I didn't like this guy. He was kind of an obnoxious, like, person. I didn't like him at all. And one of my friends, he actually threatened one of my friends, and he said that he was going to, like, come to his house and, like, cheat on his wife with him or something like that. And just, like, something, like, really kind of rude. And it wasn't, like, a really direct real-life threat, but it was enough of a threat to where I said, hey, report this guy for real life threat. And this guy actually got a 3-day ban because of it, because we heard from one of his guildies that it happened. And so, I mean, obviously you can never really know that that's 100% certain, but I added in my friends list and I didn't see him come on for 3 days. And so I think that it's true. Either way, there's a lot of different, I guess, like, facilities that you can use on different websites to report people who are, harassing you over and over. Also, on Warcraft, if you put somebody on ignore and then they message you on another character to kind of circumvent that ignore, you can report people for that, and that actually is, like, again, like something that you can get suspended for. And so be aware of that also. And don't engage with people, honestly, because it's like, all right, let's just put this into perspective here, guys. Like, what are you really going to get out of winning a pissing match with somebody else on a comment section of a YouTube video? If you get anything out of it, you probably need to reevaluate your life, because it's nothing, okay? It doesn't matter at all. And so just do not even engage with people, especially, guys, and this is what I told my friend, looping back to what I first started talking about in this video, is that don't ever insult people, like, especially if you're like a content creator or something like that, and it always just makes you look like an asshole. And I remember, like, something, I think it was like with Mercator, and he's like a rogue, he was like Swifty's friend, and like him and Soda Poppin got into some big argument, and Mercator looked like an asshole, Soda Poppin also kind of looked like a dick, and everybody loses. Almost always everybody loses. And so really try to stay away from conflict, especially in public spaces. Like, of course, you can argue with people behind closed doors. And I wouldn't really say that, don't avoid conflict always, because sometimes it's good to have conflict with people, but it has to be in the right, I guess, like the right way. And usually just fighting with somebody on internet comments is not really the right way of doing it. Usually whenever I argue with somebody on comments in my videos, it's usually to, I guess, like, change their mind or change the mind of the people who might view the comment. something like that. And that's really, those are real my, I guess like, those are really my bits of advice for preventing, I guess like preventing harassment. And as I said before, nothing can really prevent harassment entirely. So we are going to talk about some things that I've done, and I'll give you guys some experiences that I've had on, I guess, like dealing with harassment, because that is that's something that you're going to have to deal with pretty much for sure if you put yourself anywhere on the internet. Now, honestly, I'm trying to think like the first thing, guys, is that there's a real big difference between conflict, criticism, and harassment. And harassment is bad, and conflict and criticism are not always bad. And I want to kind of let you guys know something about myself. If somebody insults me personally, like they say, you look stupid, you have big teeth, I know. Let's say, I have a messy room. Yeah, everybody knows that. And we'll talk about that in a minute, actually. Um, if they want to say something like that to me, that's not really going to bother me very much. But what will really bother me is if somebody posts a comment on a video where it's actually critical and it says, hey, you forgot about this comment. Like, I made a video the other day about how to get a razor scale achievement, and somebody else made a comment saying that if you damage them and you kill them at the same time she does the breath, they're able to, you still get the credit for it. And I felt kind of stupid because I didn't, I wasn't aware of that. And so I felt that like that was a really that was a mistake on my part, and it was another one. I'll give you guys another example. I did a guide on how to do the BlackRock Foundry follower missions, and I was not aware that Garona was only able to have three of the five main abilities. I thought that she started out with all five of them. And so I spent like quite a while talking about it in the video about how awesome it was that she started out with five. And so it wasn't really that somebody really said something bad about me, it's that they pointed out how bad I did something in the video. And I really hope that you guys, whenever if you guys are making content online, that's how you feel too. I really do want you guys to feel that way, because it's important to, I guess, like care about what you create. And also, whenever you make something bad and somebody points it out, I mean, you should really think about it and say, damn it, I messed this up, and you're not going to do it again. And it makes your research harder and better and make better videos. And that's what it pushes me to do. And so, negative, and I'm my own worst critic. I have actually deleted a lot of my videos in the past because they've just been so shitty. And so, make sure that you're never above criticism. And also, if somebody wants to harass you, as I said before, do not engage with them, anything like that. And so I think that that's very important. And just what it really comes down to is make sure that whenever somebody gives you real criticism, also don't take it personally. And, criticism is not necessarily harassment. Now, sometimes people like to veil insults with criticism at the same time. And I think that that's really a case-by-case basis. So I can't really give you guys specific advice on that. But just, I mean, I think that it's kind of more obvious whenever it happens. And so make sure that you don't really, I guess, like respond negatively to criticism, because sometimes it can really help you in the long run, and if it's the right kind of criticism. Now, I mean, like for me, I guess like I've kind of gotten my own like shock therapy lesson of how to deal with harassment on the internet. Now, if you guys don't know, back in 2010, and yeah, during Wrath of the Lich King, during ICC, I posted a video of my room, and in this video, I had about, I'd say, at least on this desk here, like there'd be no way, like if I had as many cups on the desk, you guys wouldn't even be able to see me, okay? It'd just be like the top of my head with like a little forest of straws poking up all around me. And there were just tons of drinks everywhere, and like it was just to show how disgusting my room was, just because I thought it was funny and I was going to clean it up. And even I knew how ridiculous it was, and so I wanted to make a video and show everybody. Anyway, my old guild leader, it was called Asmongold's Lair, and you guys can look it up online, and it was really, really bad, and I don't think it's gotten that bad since then. But anyway, you never know, there might be an Asmongold's Lair 3 coming out sometime. Point is that one of my guild leaders, he posted it, my boy Silo, he posted it on Reddit, and it actually made the front page, and it was like one of the top, it was like the top post on like r/cringe, and people were like commenting, oh, go kill yourself, you're gonna die alone, you're probably fat and disgusting, etc. And to me, I mean, to tell you guys like the honest truth, and I don't want to like I'm not really lying here. I thought it was hilarious, and I love the attention. I was like a girl posting selfies on Instagram, getting like 1,000 likes about it. I was just loving it, and I couldn't even go to bed that day. I was so happy, and I told them all to subscribe to my page and everything else like that. And it's funny because people still message me now, and they say, they're like, "Hey, are you the guy with the messy room?" It's like I made 500 WoW videos, and people remember me because the cut videos. There's a saying for that. You build 100 bridges and you suck one dick, and you're known as the dick sucker. And so be aware of that. Make sure to never let that bother you. I mean, people. It's like now, like we're in like a world and an age where you can pretty much, I guess, like have a log of your entire life. At least, like for me personally, like I had a MySpace whenever I was 14, and so like all the way back to the time I was 14, like every stupid thing that I've ever thought, ages 14 and up, is in probably one way or another available to the public for people to make fun of me for it. And so, guys, learn to deal with your embarrassments because they're who you are. And, the best part, man, is like if you can realize, like, man, I was such a weirdo, this was so pathetic or whatever. Because what that really means is that means that you're better today than you were then. And I think that that's really kind of the way that I look at it. And, I'm really kind of honest with myself 100% of the time. And it's like I know that I know that my room is messy. It's like now it's like kind of messy, but it's not really, I mean, anywhere near the Asmongold Slayer level. And I know that, I'm aware of that with myself. I'm aware that my teeth are a little bit too big. Fuck you, mom. I didn't ask for that, but I mean, it's not like this is Dungeons and Dragons. I can't re-roll my character. And so this is what I have, right? And I don't really get too bothered about it. It's like, yeah, sometimes it kind of sucks. But if somebody tells me about that, it's just the same as telling me that I have like eyebrows or something. Man, I know about it. And, I've tried to come to terms with the things that I can't change. And the things that I can change, I do change them if they really bother me. And that's really what I kind of want to leave you guys with is that, never apologize for who you are. And, if there's something that you can't bear about yourself, like let's say you're overweight or something like that. And for me, it's actually the opposite. I'm like quite skinny and I need to gain weight. And so I've been thinking about like getting a membership at like Planet Fitness or something like that, and trying to take like supplements and stuff, and starting to do that to, I guess, like help myself out to look better and everything. And if there's something like that that you really feel that you can that you don't like about yourself, really change it. Like, don't just complain about it or something like that. And for some people, it's harder to make some changes than others. And for some changes, it's impossible. And the best advice I can give you guys for that is to just come to terms with it, because if you don't, it's just gonna bother you because it won't go away, right? Because if it would, then you would be able to get rid of it, logic. Anyway, guys, these are, I guess, like my tips for how to deal with online harassment, how I deal with online harassment. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've got to say, because I've got through this whole video and I don't want to forget anything. Really, guys, I think that the most important thing is to know who you are. If you're not happy with who you are, change it. If you can't, come to terms. And if you are happy with it, don't apologize for who you are. Accept who you are. And if other people don't like you, and trust me, they won't, fuck them, man. Like, not everybody will. And that's really all I got. So hopefully this helped you guys. And I'll have to link this to my buddy that I was talking to the other day, and see what he has to say. Hopefully this will help him too. So that's all I've got. Thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.